What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast, but today we are back with Battlebirds podcast. It's been a little bit due to the bye week, and it was well rested for the players. I think we all enjoyed it a little bit, but no matter how much we enjoy it, we miss Eagle football. We are missing Gate. He'll be hopping in a little bit later. Normally, it's Fresh who's hopping later, but he here on time. How you feeling?
Yo, that man. I guess we all needed a bye week, man, because I'm here now. I'm on time, man. What's going on? How everybody feeling? Hey, Mike, we got another one, man. Another possible case of us going 7-0. I just don't want this team to look past and knowing that we got a Thursday game and try to look, even though who we play Thursday is really not competition either. But I just don't want this team to look past anybody. Just, you know, you see them in the locker room, they feeling themselves as a groove, but I need them to understand that no matter what, you got to come, you got to put your suit and tie on, grab your hard hat, whatever it is, your clocking sheet, and go to work. Mm-hmm. You got to go to work. And Pittsburgh is not going to come into a situation to where as though they just going to fall down, you know what I mean, and just let you beat them. No, it's going to be a situation to where they are going to fight. The defense isn't as elite as it has been in the last couple of years, but they still got Fitzpatrick out there. He's still a dog flying around. I'm not sure. I don't know if you heard yet, but if anybody heard about it, if TJ Watt is going to play, I mean that's going to be not a deciding factor of them being competent, but it really is. Like when you look at it, he changes their whole defense. He changes a lot of things. A lot of people talk about Micah Parsons and what he does for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, to me, TJ Watt is just on a whole nother level when it comes to pass rushing. So you had to. I don't know if did you hear anything? Is he in? Is he out? Okay. See, the chat y'all always come through for your boy, man. Y'all know I'm a busy man, father of 7, so I'll be busy, but I don't get everything. But shout out to y'all. So now when you look at it, I mean, is it easier? Yes, but you still got to go to work. You still have to make sure that you are putting a guy like Pickett's in a position to where though you put the Dallas quarterback 2 weeks ago. He has to fight uphill. You got to fight an uphill battle. You get up there and you get up 14 to 21 to nothing, and you see if this guy can throw them to a win instead of them using Najee Harris all throughout the game to be a game manager. You want to cut him out of the game as soon as possible, and make Pickett's have to throw. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree. Looking at the Steelers' numbers throughout the year, they're definitely a gritty team, and you can see it in the last game they played against the Dolphins. That's a pretty good offense over there, especially with Tua back, and they held them to 16. That being said, that was probably one of their best performances since the beginning of the season, where TJ Watt went out. You know, since he's been gone, their defense has been giving up. You know, they're 28th in the rankings when it comes to stopping the pass. They're 17 and stopping the run. So I think we can make some moves on that defense. And they haven't been running the ball really good. When I look at Najee Harris, I think that he can be a top 5, top 10 back in the league once he gets acclimated and everything, and the Steelers offense gets flowing. I mean, just look at the sheer size and speed and athleticism this guy has. You think he can make something happen, but they only been averaging like 80 yards a game. We do not want them to figure out the run game against us, because like I said, if there's one area that the Eagles been a little bit iffy on, it's stopping the run. And we've had the fortune of teams not running on us a lot because of the situations we put them in via the second quarter. Now, the only two teams that stuck with the run were the Lions and the Cowboys. And they were the two teams that actually clawed their way back a little bit in the second half. Carson and them boys, they tried to throw on us, never came back. Cousins and them boys tried to throw on us because we shut down Cook early. And then the second half, they tried to throw interception. And same with like the Cardinals and stuff. The only two teams that really climbed back in it, and again, you can even count the Cardinals because they ran the ball, was Kyler Murray running in the second half, though. But the teams that stuck with the run were the ones that weren't able to climb back. My whole premise of this game is I want to see the Battle of PA, no doubt about it. I want to get at Kenny Pickett and all that, but I am so curious to see this third quarter offense. You had 2 weeks, coaching staff, Nick Sirianni. If there was anything that you needed to beat the horn on, it was executing and calling plays in that third quarter where we've been horrible. I want to see the difference start now. We had 2 weeks to do it. Do you think we score at least 7 in the third quarter?
No. I mean, I got to go with tradition, man. I think they just this is. I don't know. I don't want to say game plan. I give you three. I give you three, Mike. I don't want to say game plan. If we go up 21 to nothing, my answer is going to be no. I don't know if this is supposed to be the game plan or whatever the case may be. But when you look at the situation, it's like you get up and now it's like you take your foot off the gas, but at the same time, you're not exposing so many plays to other competition. And maybe they're looking down on the I don't know, but it just seems like this has been scripted for some reason. Like, and if it don't play out like that, then we're going to have to see something different. But that was a good point on the third quarter. It's one other thing that coming off this offseason, I got to see. How did Jordan Davis treat the offseason? You know what I mean? Because when you look at it, to me, yeah, I said.
You said the offseason. I'm like, dang, man, we fast forward.
No, but how did he treat the bye week? Because when you look at it, his conditioning, and that's to me one of the reasons why he hasn't been getting as much snaps as he supposed to, or as we want, should I say. What did you do? Was you still working out, or did you go to Big Mama's house and eat a whole bunch of lima beans and rice, and you know what I mean? Like, what did you do? What did you do? To me, it's going to be important because we're going to need him for this game. I mean, like you said, Harris is not a slouch. He can be one of the top 5, top 7 running backs in the league. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to need him to stop the run, especially in the middle. But if you're not available, then it's no point. So to me, man, I just got to see if he's still conditioned, if he still was going to the gym, if Fletcher Cox and those boys and Hargrave and them was pulling him to the gym, if they was even going, because you know they bet. So you know what I mean. So to me, man, I gotta look at Jordan Davis, what he gonna bring to this table, and make sure that he didn't fall off.
Yeah, especially when you look at a guy who's coming out of college, which is a shorter season, and then you get an early bye week. You're not really prepared for the long season of 16 games, let alone 17 games now. And again, you could be looking at that next Thursday game not as being scared of the Texans, but like, bro, we got 2 games in 5 days type thing after being off. So mindset in the NFL is big time, to keep that right mindset. And we got the leader in Jalen Hurts that can really, be level-headed, and guys feed off that as well. I do want to agree. I do want to say this to the chat, and I agree with you guys. When you're up 21-3, 21-0, 21-7, your game plan does change. You use plays that eat up the clock more. You're okay with 5-yard dump offs. If a team does score, you want them to be able to score in 8 minutes instead of 2 minutes. So it's less time for them to come back. However, there's going to be a team eventually that keeps the game close at halftime. Then how do we respond in the third and fourth quarter? And also, again, I'm not saying we have to go juggernaut, 60-yard passes in the third quarter, but I still want to see more consistency and moving the chains and things of that sort. The bye week should have been good for that. Talking about the Steelers real quick, this is the Battle of Pennsylvania. This is a 2-win team for sure. I like what Nick Sirianni did, though, in that speech that was recorded via the Eagles' social media. He said, I forgot the exact teams, but I think he pretty much pointed out like the 7-1 Saints, the 5-2 Raiders, the teams that came off their bye week, having the best record in the conference and then getting dusted off by a 1-6 team or a 2-4 team because they took that bye week and they didn't come back with this same mindset. So I'm glad that we're aware of that. And the Battle of PA is going to make these Steelers players rise up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like when you got a rivalry, and this ain't like an NFL rivalry like the Cowboys and Eagles or the Steelers and Ravens, but at the end of the day, we only play each other every 4 years. I don't know. That's what it normally is, but now we played them in 2020. So I don't know how that changed. We used to always play each AFC conference once per year, so we were rotated every 4. I don't know why we're playing the Steelers this early. All that being said, they never beat us in Philly, or they haven't beat us in Philly since 1965. It's still Battle of PA. This game is going to be, it's sold out for a reason, right? It's sold out for, you cannot get tickets unless you buy them off the side piece. You can't get tickets. This is more, it's heavier. It was sold out quicker than the Dallas Cowboys Eagles Sunday night game. So there is some oomph in this Battle of PA.
Yeah, I mean it is. And whoever been upstate, whoever been in jail, you know what this really means. Like they're probably no lie, Mike. When we lost, what was that, 2012? Was that 2012? When we lost in the NFC Championship to the Cardinals? No, that was not. So they was really gonna shut the jails down, like because it was supposed to be a PA Super Bowl. Yep. They would shut the jails down. Like nobody could come out, nobody could do anything. If you didn't have a TV, you wasn't gonna be able to watch the Super Bowl. Like, so it's major. Like PA, like Western PA and Eastern PA don't like each other, like for whatever reason. But it's funny to me because I mean, then you had the Steagles back in the day, which was stupid. I don't know why they picked that name, but you had the Steagles back in the day. Was that 1943 or something like that? But hey, man, this is not a rivalry, but because they have really dominated when you look at them having the most Super Bowls of any team. I mean, Tom Brady surpassed that himself, but as one team, they had the most Super Bowls, and we had none for a long time. And it was just so much talking. Y'all doing PA wrong. Y'all supposed to be this. Y'all supposed to be that. And it was just so much talking. Then we finally got one. Now it's just one, or whatever the case may be. But when you really look at it, both of these teams have been good for the last 20 odd years. You know what I mean? It's just that our times was different, and when they got to the Super Bowl, they won. You know what I mean? Like when Ben got to the Super Bowl twice, he won. A lot of that was because of the defense he had too. But we can't act like McNabb didn't have that crazy defense in 2004, and he just turned the ball over. But that's another day. That's another time for another day. So yeah, it's a reason why this game is sold out. And I mean, they're not going to take over the stadium. Nobody takes over stadium, but they're going to be hurt. Pittsburgh Steelers fans are going to be hurt. They're going to have the towels. You already know they're going to be terrible towels with whatever they're called.
They are terrible, like, literally.
Yeah. I mean, I got us winning. So to me, I don't give a damn who show up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, they still are the 2-win team. So, like, you know, if we are betting that the Eagles kept that right mindset, if they came in knowing that, yeah, we're undefeated, but we're still a football, we're still the NFL, and we got to, like you said, put our hard hat on and go to work, then we should still beat them, because across the board, we have more talent. You know, our quarterback, our leader, has been, you know, up there with anybody in certain stat categories. Kenny Pickett is, you know, he got a little swag, he got a little skill set, but he's still young. He's still new. He's throwing interceptions. What does he have? Like, I think 7 interceptions on the season. Now, you know, not every interception is a quarterback's fault, but he is being a little bit daring with the ball. And a team that has 9 interceptions, that has 14 takeaways, a plus 12. You don't want your young quarterback coming into this environment sold out. There is going to be Steelers fans there, but they got nothing on the link. They still ain't going to be able to slow down the link. This game is probably the biggest game that Kenny Pickett has played so far. And again, it's young career, and he only got 2 wins. But if he tries to take advantage of this defense, I think he's going to come back and bite him, because I can see the Eagles really getting like 2 or 3 picks this game, and Kenny Pickett seeing ghosts, something along them lines, as we just seen the ghost of Steve Hyder come through.
What's good, guys? What's good?
You definitely look Patrick Swayze right now, man.
Hey, bro, I'll take it.
Hey,
even it means I'm the Casper version of Patrick Swayze.
but real fast, man. We ain't really get to talk about this because we ain't do a live since then. But how do y'all feel, man, with the new acquisition, man?
Oh yeah, you can start it off, Gate. Robert Quinn, how you feeling?
I mean, I think it's a very, very smart signing, to be honest. Well, it's not a signing, it's a trade, but I think it's intelligent because you're getting that veteran dude. You're taking a risk on a guy. I mean, he is 32. The production is down this season, but so was Von Miller's before he got to the Rams. And I know that storyline's been played out, but I don't think that Quinn has dropped off from 18 sacks to 1 sack in skill set.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I'm not saying that he's the same player as he was the year prior, but I definitely think as a rotational piece to the pass rush, there's going to come a time to where there's going to be that pivotal third down, and he's going to absolutely destroy a left tackle. Like, there's just no doubt about it. Like, the guy has been really good at doing it. He's played it at a high level. Like, to me, I'd much rather have Quinn than Derek Barnett.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have you than Derek Barnett.
Nah, I totally agree with that. And that was my premise too. He didn't go from 18.5 to 1. Not saying he's still that 18.5 sack guy, but you can tell his the way his snaps decreased a little bit. He was in a totally different system. They're running a different defensive system over there, and he's definitely much more used to what Gannon wants to do, right? Like, we're gonna wide him out a little bit, let him have his free reign at the left tackle one-on-one. He should get less double teams here than he had in Chicago. We're talking about 58 times this man was double teamed, and just to put it into perspective, Nick Bosa was only double teamed in the 40s, and this is a guy who lives on the edge too. Micah Parsons was in the 42, but I understand he doesn't rush the passer every single time, but he still rushes it way more than he drops back in coverage. So that's just going to show the respect the league has had after an 18.5 season to Robert Quinn, and now you're throwing him in the mix with guys who get double teamed and Fletch, even though Fletch has been bad against the run. And this is weird. When I was defending Fletch, I said he's not the same pass rusher, but he's been great against the run. Now he's been low-key getting more pressures on the quarterback, and he sucks against the run. So he flip-flopped anyways. But you're still going to see a lot more one-on-ones for Robert Quinn. He's just a humble guy, knows what he's doing. And I can't wait for this game, because when he gets that 1 sack, I'm going to be on Twitter like, well, in 7 games with the Bears, he got 1. In 1 game with the Eagles, he got 1. I think we're going to see the real Robert Quinn. And so that's my premise. I already got that's my defensive player. I already called it, so don't take it when we do it. Robert Quinn going to have
yeah, it's crazy. I thought that you just said that because I just got a notification that he will play. Yeah, man. I mean, this is definitely a good acquisition. Well, like, how it's like, damn, how are we like chill? Like you did it again. Like what are you doing? Like, to me, I know it was a lot of reports. It was Robert Quinn, then it was the other guy from Denver. What was it?
Chubb.
Yeah,
Bradley Chubb. That's my
and I made a video about which one would I pick, and I picked Quinn. And while I'm going through his stats, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's the most I heard of somebody having 18 sacks and really not talked about. Like, I guess because TJ Watt, what, he had like 22 or something like that last year.
He had something. He broke close to
but
breaking the record.
I didn't know that Robert Quinn had 18.5 sacks last year. I didn't know that until I looked at it. So I'm like, the first I'm thinking that it's like a glitch in the matrix. Like, no, somebody made an error. I went to another.
You refreshed it a bunch of times. You're like, hold on,
Yeah,
what's wrong with it?
Something ain't right. They ain't had no 18. I'm like, wow, he really had 18.5 sacks. So when you look at him and you bring that situation now to me, I don't and Gates, and I know Mike that you can attest to this too. I think it's weird that they basically making him a free eight. Like they didn't pick up the rest of his 2-year option. So do you think Howie's going to try to sign another deal, or they just going to let him go at the end of the season?
I don't think they like the money behind the current contract. And I also think that was probably partially to Chicago's benefit, because I'm assuming what had to have been done there. And I don't know the facts behind the case, guys. I mean, I'm not in the office, but I'm assuming that was really done for the benefit of Chicago more than anybody, because what it probably did is
they're paying most of the
probably, yeah, it probably helped them out with the dead money that they were going to have to assume. Right. So that's probably why they agreed to pay $7 million this year, for the fact that they would take less of a dead hit for the remainder of the contract. And they're still getting, it's a late fourth. Let's be real. Everyone's going to pretty much be predicting Philadelphia to be one of the last 3 or 4 picks, you know what I mean, in any round. I mean, that's the way that organizations are viewing it right now. So they knew it was going to be pretty much like a 5th rounder, even though it's 4th. So, I mean, I think that's why they made the deal. I don't know how much I think Howie looked at it and was like, I'm not paying 12, 13 million for 33, 34-year-old pass rusher over the next 2 years. I don't think that precludes. I think what you're asking is like, do you think that Howie might work another deal out with him? I think it depends on the impact he has on the defense. Like, I mean, if he comes in and has here's the crazy thing. If he has a Von Miller-like impact, it's going to be really difficult to get the guy under contract. Like, to be real, like he knows he's going to have suitors, right? But at the same like notion, if he's somewhere in between that kind of impact where it's impactful, but Hassan Riddick is still our best pass rusher, maybe you do work out a veteran deal with him. Maybe you do find a way of kind of keeping that veteran presence, along the line there. It's hard to say, man. There's a lot of veteran options on the line coming up. Fletch, Hargrave, Quinn, BG. Like, you're probably not going to sign them all.
Yeah, I agree. I think we gave a late 4th, early 5th, if you want to, really late 4th, to be honest, like you said, for a guy that you're going to use to enhance your Super Bowl odds. And then while you are going, like I said, in today's game, if you tell me guarantee Super Bowl, will you give this, all that up? A lot of people give it up for that one Super Bowl. And so a 4th round pick is not crazy to have a chance to get your roster that's already Super Bowl contender to be a little bit better. And then based off what he does, we'll figure out if we can bring him back. There's a lot of 1-year guys, man. Howie's going to be busy, but Howie did it smartly in saying, I'm not going to keep a 33, 34-year-old Robert Quinn over a TJ Edwards. If it comes down to me signing next year, TJ Edwards for 3-5 years or 2 years on Robert Quinn, I'm taking TJ Edwards. So that's why, it was the best of both worlds for both the Bears and the Eagles. Real quick, shout out to Jung Money with the $2 super chat. He said, big play, Slay. Can he pick it? Yes, he can. I love it. I love the pun. Like I said, I can see a big game for the secondary. Just adding on 9 interceptions through 6 games is no small task. We've been dying for this type of turnover production, and we got it. And so shout out to the defense. Lust with the $10 super chat. He said, fly, Eagles, fly. Let's get this dub. Y'all know what victory song to play. Shout out Philly Mike and the guys. Yeah, listen, if you don't know, go on IG, go to Lust. He got a Fly Eagles Fly song, a song that he wrote, and it's fire. So check it out if y'all never checked it out, for sure.
That's his name, right? Just like that on Instagram.
Yeah.
With the $ sign and everything?
Yep.
I'll check
it out. But yeah, so how do you ultimately feel, Steve, about this game? Do you have any worries? Again, it's still an NFL team. They only got 2 wins. But what do you think the Eagles should watch out in this battle of PA, sold out environment at the Link?
I think you got to develop the killer instinct. And this is a great place to start it, because this is a team that's not going to give you a single inch here, because simply put, it's an in-state rival. It's a team that it's not as good as it's been in previous years. It's in rebuild mode. And as the Eagles at this point, we got the target on our back. Every single week, we are going to get team's best game. You got to go out there, and this is no time better than the present to develop that killer instinct. Like, that's what we need to see in the third quarter of games. Put your foot firmly down on the necks of opponents. That's what I really want to see from this game. Like, And I'm not trying to take shots at Pittsburgh. I know that we got a little lucky with TJ Watt being out. No, I get it. He's a phenomenal pass rusher. But you know what? I don't want to hear it, man, because like we've gone with mismatched offensive linemen so far this season. Like it's not like we've been relatively healthy, but it's not like we haven't faced some adversity in that as well.
Yeah. And Steve, you took the words out of my mouth early on this. I don't know if you were listening or not. No, I'm just kidding. But man, I agree. I think this bye week should have been solely spent on figuring out your third quarter woes. I understand that when you come into the third quarter and you got a double-digit lead, blah, 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 you call the game a little differently, right? If a team is going to score on your defense, make them score in 7 minutes, not 2 minutes, right? 8 minutes, not 2 minutes. And if we're not going to get a touchdown, well, let these drives be 8-minute drives, then punt or a field goal attempt. But still, the consistency of how bad we are scoring the ball. I'm not saying moving. I'm not saying we can't move 20 to 20, get first downs, but we're not putting points on. We go from the best team ever in the history of the NFL in the second quarter to the worst team in the history of the NFL in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like you can't have that flip-flop. Can't be the best and the worst. So we got
to be honest, Mike, and I know this is going to tick off the Cowboy fans in the comment section that are secretly watching the show, acting like they don't watch Eagles content creators. It's all good. But I'm gonna tell the truth. After what was said to Nick at the end of last season, on the last possession of that football game, those points would have been absolutely meaningless. I'd put it up on them. Hold this L. Firmly hold this L. Like you wanted to say that talk. Hold this L like this.
Yeah.
I would have put the points on them.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely got real spicy and disrespectful. And I love real quick, like that was a mercy touchdown that Dallas gave Dak against the Lions too, bro. They just wanted to give him a touchdown. I mean, they were on the 1 yard line in a double-digit possession game. Just stop it. They threw a 1 yard touchdown. So the Cowboy fans are mad at us. Because Jalen Hurts don't throw touchdowns. We're playing football. We just playing winning football. They go ahead. They over here playing Madden, trying to boost his stats, throw a 1 yard touchdown. Who just while they're up?
Yeah,
by
because you got to understand, Mike. I mean, it's politics. They gave him that contract, so his numbers got to add up to the contract. And if they don't, then it's making it seem like that was a bad deal. And now that we on Dak Prescott, because it's so funny to me, right? No. We going to demote this segment to the Cowboys, right? Cowboys fans and all, Cowboy Nation, whatever y'all want to be called. It's so funny how they used to call Carson Wentz Mr. Glass, and he can't stay healthy.
Wheelchair Wentz. You remember that? Wheelchair Wentz. Now they got geriatric Dak.
More games than Carson Wentz. They came in the same year. He missed more games than he.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just so funny to me, man, because now all of a sudden we don't hear about injuries. They're not talked about. But
they better get Dak Prescott some insurance.
Huh?
He gonna need some insurance to get through the season.
He need some milk. He gonna
need some milk.
Exactly.
He gonna need a whole lot more, man. Serious. But I mean, I don't want people to be hurt. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's just funny how we don't talk about injuries anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's hilarious to me.
Yeah, I agree. So looking at this Steelers offense, right? Of course, are you worried about us stopping Najee Harris? They really haven't gotten to a flow running the ball thus far this season. They only average about 80 yards a game, which is ranks in the 20th. Do you think that this is the game that Najee Harris goes off again? We've been hit and miss with stopping the run.
It's a good point, Mike. That's a really good point, Mike. That you really can't let them get early down success. Like you want to get a young quarterback feeling it, let them get early down success. That's really the problem here with this defense. And I agree that we should have the bodies in house to resolve this situation, but they haven't necessarily been consistent with that resolution so far this season, to be honest. I mean, you pointed out Fletcher Cox. Like, if someone asked me, like, oh, you got a run defense and you got Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox, and I'm like, that's all I really need. Like, those two dudes should be able to easily eat up 2 blocks. It don't even matter who else is on the line against them. But so far this season, man, I mean, there's been plays where Fletcher's definitely got washed out. Like, he got washed out the gap, like, to be real about it.
That Cowboys game alone, what's his name?
Zach Martin got the better of him, didn't he?
Yeah, and there was another one where I think it wasn't
Terrence
Zach Martin.
Steele.
Yeah, Steele. My man moved him 6 yards, hash to hash. That was the Ezekiel Elliott touchdown. I mean, Fletch was out of the play. I mean, it looked like the blind side. I said, "Where are you taking him?" I'm taking him to the parking lot.
And then it was one play. I think it was on was that the pilot touchdown? He just got turned around, I don't know. It's like he got turned around and just kept going the other way. He gave up. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? But I don't know. It's just seemed like we're going to have those moments with Fletcher Cox, man. We are. And I think Howie has done a better job at putting better talent around him because he understands that 6 years ago, around the time we won the Super Bowl, it was him and Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald went like this, Fletcher Cox went like this. So we had to understand, yes, we gave him $100 million, but at the same time, he's not that guy anymore. And so you put as much talent as you can around him. And once again, how he did it again by putting Quinn around the guy, man. You pick up Jordan Davis. You've been got Hargrave 2 years ago. I need to see more out of him. He's the younger player. You know what I mean? I'm more I kind of knew what I was getting with Fletcher Cox. It's going to be one or the other. It's either you're going to stop the run or you're going to get after the quarterback. And to me, it's not going to be both. And I thought that he would be the guy, and I kind of think he has been, if I'm correct, that will be coming out for Jordan Davis. You know what I mean?
So do you think that in what you're saying there, Reese, do you think that maybe the solution to that problem is when you go into the 4-man set that you keep Fletch a little bit more, you keep that breath for him. So you rotate Jordan Davis in a little bit more. Maybe we should be worried more so about the snap count on Fletcher Cox than Jordan Davis.
Yes, but here's the thing, because I brought this up earlier in case you wasn't here. Damn, it feel good to say that I was here and you wasn't. But but all jokes aside, I talked about Jordan Davis and to me not being in tip-top shape. Now you're just coming off a bye week. What did you do this bye week? Did you go home and you eat macaroni salad and chitlins and all that kind of stuff? Or was you working out? You know what I mean? I think today, probably not today, but Thursday, we're going to see what he was doing in his bye week. So I'm still probably would be cautious if he's not up. If you get what I'm trying to say, if his tank isn't there, then you have a problem because he can't be on the field if he's out of breath. So to me, man, it's really important to see what this kid did this week, or this off week, man.
And it's crazy because I feel like they're handling BG in the perfect way. But I do feel like maybe that they were a little concerned about Jordan Davis in the early portion of the season, and that has led to them probably overutilizing Fletcher Cox, to be quite honest. And there is you guys talked about this. There's the political side to football, which has to do with the finances. And there was a lot of shifting and maneuvering and stuff to get Fletch back here, and he got paid. I mean, he definitely cashed in a pretty nice paycheck for this year. And I'm wondering how much these behind the scenes things matter when you're looking at the role of the players. You know what I mean? Because those are things that we have a hunch about, but we can't know without being in the room. We all got a hunch. You got our hunches about some of this stuff, but it's just it just seems like such an easy solution, right? Like Jordan Davis is a young guy. He's now, 6 games into a season, 7 weeks into a season, going into the 8th week. He should be in NFL shape at this point. There's no reason why he should not be in NFL condition by this point. So, I mean, to me, I feel like you could lean a little heavier there. I definitely do because, I know you could look at Fletch's $14 million and say man, dude's got to earn $14 million. It's right. But I don't think snap count justifies the pay. I think impact justifies the play.
Correct.
How do we make Fletcher Cox impactful?
Correct.
Man, that is a sentence that can really be taken out of context if it's sound clipped and bit up there, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's where we've seen the early success this season that we haven't seen in previous seasons with his pass rush, because he is playing his lowest snap count. It still might not be to our liking. It still might need to be a little bit less to get Jordan Davis on here and also get the best version of Fletch on here. But with the limited snap count, he has been more productive in the pass rush this year, has he been since probably the Super Bowl era. But going back now to the Steelers defense, we know TJ Watt's out. Minkah Fitzpatrick is still there. They rank 28th in stopping the pass. They allow almost 285 per game. That's 28th. We've seen a bunch of different Jalen Hurts games, right? We saw him beat man coverage and run with his legs against the Lions. We've seen him air it out against the Vikings zone defense. We've seen rushing games from the running backs against the Jags over like 200 plus yards, blah, blah, blah. I think this is a game. The last two games, Jalen Hurts has been throwing 155 against the Cowboys. We didn't throw that much against the Jags and the Cardinals because of the weather, and Jags and Cardinals, it is what it is. I think this is a game where Jalen comes out. I think everybody expects the underneath, the slants, the blah, 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 and we're going to air it out. I think we're going to see a couple deep balls, and I think Jalen's going to be north of 275, closing in on that 300 piece this game. I think that's a style game we're going to play here in the link. What do y'all think?
I think the defense could help dictate this too, though, Mike, to be honest, because, you know, we talked about the young quarterback in Kenny Pickett, the fact that we have struggled against the run. We talked about those things. We've been inconsistent, at least, versus the run. But what's also needs to be noted is that the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator, someone that I'm very familiar with in Matt Canada, because he was an OC for NC State for a while. Look, man, that seat is as warm as it gets as a play caller. My guy is about to really probably be fired if the outcome doesn't look good here in Philly, to be quite honest. Like, there's a lot of pressure to that, and our defense is very opportunistic. And I think that's the side of things that, like, you know, you look at sustaining the drives, you look at the distance of the drives. Well, some of that's because our defense is just taking the ball away, and it's giving us these short field opportunities. And that's where, like, you know, when it comes to the passing game with Jalen Hurts, like, that's where I want to see them absolutely put their foot on the necks of opponents. Like, this dude is incredibly difficult to defend. I mean, the minute he started learning how to put this offense into an actual rhythm, right? I talked about this last year. When he starts figuring out when he hits that rhythm step to get the ball out and to trust the leverage of the receivers, this guy's going to be really good. We're starting to see it. It's showing this season. Like, I honestly feel like we're already playing at a high level, and there's still this other level that can be achieved offensively. And I don't think we've seen our best offensive football yet. I really don't.
I agree. And like I said, I think this Eagles team is always going to run the ball, whether it's Miles, whether it's Jalen. We're going to do that because we do it so dominant. When you are really good at one thing, no matter what the opposing team is showing, you still always fall back to your strengths. But I do believe we could throw this ball like the early part of the season against Carson Wentz and the Commanders and the Vikings game. Heck, we even threw it pretty good in the Lions game. I think this is a game where, you know, if teams are watching our tape this season, they say, okay, Eagles were throwing the ball early, but they're starting to get back to who they are, the running team that likes to bruise and beat you down. Well, yeah, we are that team, but I would love for a team to bring guys in the box, which is going to happen sooner rather than later. Pittsburgh might as well do it right now. And then we exploit them with a Quez Walker's touchdown, Devontae, AJ. These guys all can get deep. That's what I love about our running back, our wide receiver group. They're so versatile, right? You might want to look at Devontae as the route runner and AJ as the yak guy slash swole Batman, the yak, the bully guy. But they all have other elements to their game. They're not just one hit wonders, and that's why they can play all across the formation. And I'm telling you, I really do believe a 300-yard performance is coming from Jalen, just to show him, like, bro, the Eagles really can win any way you want. We could do it all. And I'm looking forward to seeing a passing performance. Somebody in the chat said he wants 4 touchdowns passing from Jalen. I don't know if I'll go there, but I could see a 3-piece coming, a 3-piece McNugget. You know what I mean?
Just give me 30 points in a dominating win. That's really all I'm looking for.
And let me just say this real quick. The Eagles are the only team in the NFL to score 20 or more each game. I look somebody in my what's it called chat. I got this chalkboard app where a bunch of Eagle fans talk behind the scenes. If you want to join, it's only for iPhone. Sorry, Gate. It's coming for Android too.
Man, that was a right hook, man. How you?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I've been telling you to get on the team for years, man. I hate seeing that green bubble.
I know, but we are the only team in the NFL to score 20 in every single game. You would think the Chiefs and the Bills did it, but the Chiefs scored 17 against the Colts, and the Bills scored 19 against the Dolphins. So the Eagles, the only team in the NFL, 20 or more. But as Gates said, give me 30, and it doesn't really matter how it happens.
Yeah, hey, Reese, this is something I've been really wanting to know your opinion on when it comes to this running back room.
Okay.
We see how he's been calling around. They're trying to find another running back, okay? I'm not saying that a move's going to get made because there's a value proposition to any addition here. And we don't know that that's going to work its way out. But they do have Trey Sermon, who on those 2 handoffs that he got, he looked good to me. I mean, he looked like a different type of back than what we got in the rotation. But the coaching staff seems to really only want to play 3 guys. What do you think it is about Trey Sermon? Like, what is it about Trey Sermon that may be causing the coaching staff to be reluctant thus far to use him?
I think if this was a team that's trying to build and try to figure out who they are, Sermon would have a spot. But this is a team that's trying to win the Super Bowl. And you might just got to take a back seat for right now. You know what I mean? Not saying that the kid's not good. I watched the tape, and he's perfect. He can be perfect for this kind of offensive line that likes to get up to the second level and get after, because he hits them holes like no other. Like the way this kid hits the holes, I like it a lot. His outside, him running on the outside is okay. That can get better. So to me, I think they're looking for a more versatile back, because you got Miles Sanders, yes, who is versatile, and you got Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, who I don't know. I understand you got a lot of talent, but this kid is so talented. I don't know why they're not using him. It's a couple, and that's what I was going to get into before you even asked me about the running back situation. But let me end that real fast. When you look at what they're trying to do, it seems like veteran guys are going to come before situations of younger guys. But it also proves that you can never have enough running backs. We've seen what we did when we had. I know Sproles got hurt, but you did have LeGarrette Blount, you know what I mean, and the rest of those guys, and then you went up and you picked up Jay Ajayi, who was a top 10 running back at that time. Mm-hmm. So to me, I don't have no problem with getting a running back. Alvin Kamara is a no to me because of the money, so I'm cool on that. But hey, man, you can never have enough running backs. But what I want to say about what y'all was talking about, the 30 points and all of that, for that to happen, you're going to have to stretch the field. Now, we don't really talk about the bad because we're 6-0 a lot. But when the first couple games, 50-yard bomb to AJ, a 48-yard touchdown to Quez Watkins, you know what I mean? We don't see that anymore. And I don't know. It's not like Jalen Hurts is being a game manager. It's just you have to open up the field. And Quez Watkins has been really obsolete. I don't even know if he's taking the safety with him anymore, because they're like, oh, they're just, when you look at tape, they're not throwing down. They don't have to throw down the field, but they're not throwing down the field. But if you start doing that, that's another aspect that a defense is going to have to cover. You want to make sure that the defense covers every single level. And to me, they don't have to cover the third level for these last 4 games. Mm-hmm. And that got to change, because remember, not against Dallas, before Dallas, they were just going to screen happy, screen. And it's like, there's other things that you can do. You know what I mean? Now I get it. Dallas Goedert, he's going to get you a 40-yard screen every single game. That's just going to happen. But there's other ways of getting a 40-yard and it's just the respect that it puts on a defense. And you can run it, you can run it even better. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I just need some more down the field, because it's not like Hurts can't do it. He already proved that he can.
I think that my opinion is from what I saw so far on the film is teams do like to keep safeties deep on us. And that's been something they're doing. That's part of the reason why we've been eating them alive with A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. But I also think that what could help alleviate the situation is to have a true play action game to really, really get safeties to bite up, and instead of doing so much RPO, lean a little bit more into the play action. If your goal is to get vertical to where you know that you got safeties deep, because they're going to have to come up a little bit if it's actionable, right? If it makes sense. The things I hate about our offensive system at times in terms of the play calling and the design, I can't stand when we do like very obvious RPOs on like 3rd and like 13. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, who's biting on this? Like, I mean, honestly, who's biting on this? Does it make sense? But I do think there's a time and place. Like, you got a first.
Jalen did score a running touchdown on one of those, though.
I got you. But
he had to do a lot. He had to do a lot to get there. The defense wasn't really fooled, but I'm just saying he did score.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would like to see like early down stuff is what I'm saying. Like, you got a 1st and 10 situation. Teams are going to legitimately suspect that you might be running the ball. I think that's the time you tee it up. You tee up a play action pass where you get that one of those safeties to bite. And now you got a guy like Quez running down the seam. That's when teams are in trouble. Like, that's when you're truly in trouble.
Yeah, because I mean, when you look at it, what does he have? Like, I don't even think does he have 100 yards on the year?
It might. I mean, he called a 52-yard bomb, so that's a significant.
I thought they only called one. AJ Brown caught the other.
Yeah, he caught the one big play in Minnesota, but that's the only one I know he called significant.
Yeah. Right.
He's had a couple of dump offs though.
I know he ain't got 200 yards. I know that.
Yeah, he's on pace not to have. He's probably gonna have less than what he had last year, and rightfully so in the sense that you added AJ Brown, and let's not act like Dallas Goedert hasn't been eaten too. Right now, as we sit, all 3 of these guys are on pace for around 1,000, and it goes to show that you had so many years. I'm talking about Jeremy Maclin being the last 1K wide receiver. And yes, we did have Zach Ertz over a K. And in today's game, tight ends are wide receivers too, but it's still and the wide receiver column. But the fact that you could go from 0 to 3 possibly just goes to show the offense that is now around Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but the crazy part is it had to take Zach Ertz 75 catches to get 1,000 yards. Like,
oh yeah, because he's
like, think about it though. Like, he had to break the tight end record for him to get 1,000 yards. Like, most people, if they had 75 catches, they got like 1,500. He just don't got no yak. Like,
yeah, Zach, bro.
Hey, listen, all he
but you know what's crazy, Mike? We had a 45-minute conversation on here, and it took us past 45 minutes to even talk about Dallas Goedert because that's how deep the options are. I mean, honestly, like Dallas Goedert's a real threat. I mean, he is. If he could secure the catch before he tries to run with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another frustrating part with him.
If he's wide open, he has a chance of dropping it. But if there's somebody on his hip, he's going to catch it. He's going to break 2 tackles and pick up, 20 yards. But if he's open in the flats, he's going to drop it.
It's crazy, man.
That's the only question.
He got to stop doing me like that. He definitely got to stop doing me like that.
But I mean, I honestly think that we haven't. I still don't think that this offense has.
Real fast is the game was on ESPN Plus, and that's it.
Whose game?
The London game. What you call it?
Yeah, they be doing some dirty stuff with that. Yeah,
that's corny. Like, I can't watch the game.
The Thursday games are only on a Prime, right? Too, right? Like they trying to.
Yeah, they're only on Prime.
Hey, wait, we play next Thursday.
Yeah, we play next Thursday.
So that's only gonna be on Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Oh,
shit. I gotta order it then because I'm out missing my Eagles and I don't have.
You don't got Prime?
No.
It's like $99.
It's only $10 a month.
Yeah, it's like $99 for the year.
I need that.
You better get on it.
I got 3 kids. Oh, I'm not even gonna tell you. You got double what I got, so I can't even use that. But yeah, so it's about that time. Let's get into our players of the game and the score prediction. I already low key said one of my players early, so I'll go first. Defensively, it's Robert Quinn. I said on Twitter earlier, beefing with
Cowboy fans. Lock in that Quinn pick, bro.
beefing with Cowboy fans, talking about he only got 1 sack on the season. And I was like, well, he's only going to have 1 sack at least in this one game with the Eagles. And that's what matters to me, not what he's done with the Bears. I heard him say that Bradbury was washed because he wasn't playing good with the Giants. You know what I mean? What they did on a different team is not necessarily what they're going to do on this team. So I know his snaps are going to be limited because he just got here, on Thursday? He gets here on Thursday. We playing on Sunday. He's a veteran. He knows how to adapt to the playbook, but he's not going to get many snaps.
Yeah, but
this man might play like 20 snaps. Huh?
But playing that position is the easiest to pick up.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just tell him go get the quarterback. Like that's not all you have to do. You got stunts and all that. I get it. I understand that, but he doesn't have to sit there and watch a whole play sheet. Like you know what I mean. So
agreed.
I mean, he should be able. I hope he gets to play a lot of snaps. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, my thing is, I would love, and even if he only gets acclimated with like 20, 21, 22 snaps, and he comes out there and gets a sack, at least one sack and 20 snaps, well, then I'm going to be, imagine when he's getting them 45 snaps, and he's in a beautiful rotation with Sweat, Graham, Hassan Reddick, and these guys.
Hey, Mike, hold up real fast. Did you hear what he said in the press conference? They was like, so what's it like? So what's it like playing with a 10-point lead? He like, I don't know.
He said, we about to find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Actually, I put that up on a short on YouTube Shorts because
it
was hilarious.
I meant to do it, but you can only monetize it from your computer, so I was just like, forget it.
Yeah, I know that's weird how they do that.
Yeah.
And even still, even if monetize, I don't even know if you see anything from it. I haven't yet. With that being said, Quinn is my defensive player. He getting a sack, at least one sack, no matter how many snaps he gets. On the offensive side, I think we're throwing the ball deep. We're not allowed to play Jalen. We're not allowed to pick Jalen Hurts. It's a rule. He's throwing it a deep ball this game. Somebody's catching it. Now, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I'm going to have to go with the swole Batman. I think A.J. Brown has his longest touchdown of the season. They're going to hit him. They're going to hit him with like a 40-yard touchdown. He's going to catch it. He's going to get up and flex. I got A.J. Brown as my offensive player. The Eagles dropping 30 this game. 31-17. That is my score prediction.
I like it.
I like it too. You want me to go?
Yeah, you know.
Whoever wants to go next.
All right. So offense. I'm going to go offense first. I got to go with the man we were just talking about, man. Dallas Goedert. I mean, he just finds a way every time that, even when, we're playing that kind of a shell type of offense to where as though we trying to walk you down, it's always a screen in there. And Dallas Goedert always finds a way to get you 40 yards on that screen. And it's just a backbreaker. You know what I mean? And then it seems like every time he does that, we score. Saying like every time he gets a screen for 40 yards, we put points on the board. We don't let that screen just go and we punt. A lot of that is because of where it's at on the field. It's usually around the 50-yard line that he gets those screens. But still, I got to go with Dallas Goedert. I think he has over a bean today, one touchdown. And then defense, I got to go with Bradbury, man. When you look at what Bradbury has been doing, number 3 in targets percentage. I mean, a lot of that is, and the crazy part is, you would think that he would get targeted more, and which he has, but he's been defending it. You would think he would get targeted more because of who you got on the other side. You know what I mean? And he's been holding his own. Like seriously, man. I what this dude brings to the table, man. I just like he was all over the field last game, and really shout out to him, man. Shout out to Bradbury. I thought he was done. I understand who that
Kelsey.
Lane Johnson dressed up as Jason Kelsey for Halloween. It's not shown because my green screen all the way, but he got the same outfit as him for Halloween with a wig on top.
Do he got the slippers? The slipper Jones
he got
wearing?
The slippers too.
He got the Air Jesuses.
Look,
he got the Air Jesuses.
He literally came in with the same fit, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's and wait, does Jason Kelsey have that on the day though?
Nah, he wore that one last to the Cowboys game, and so he yeah.
So yeah, I like everything that Bradbury bringing to the table. My score prediction is going to be close to Mike's, man. It's going to be I got a 33-17.
Okay.
2 extra points. I like it. Yeah, we get a safety in there. No, I'm just kidding.
Who'd you pick offensively? I know you picked Bradbury defensively. Who'd you pick offensively, Reese?
Dallas Goedert.
DJ. All right. All right. Earlier question, I saw a couple of you guys ask me about pistol formation. Just for the younger viewers, I know a lot of us older guys, we grew up using the pistol formation. Actually, it just means you're putting your running back directly behind your quarterback, guys. The intent of that being is that it makes it harder to queuing on which side you're running to. Me personally, I love when you can do something like that off of a winged formation where you got like a 12 personnel setting where you got both of those tight ends can kind of kick across the formation. Then you can't key in on the running back. You got a guy like Jalen Hurts too. Like, yeah, man, sign me up for that. I would love to see that kind of wrinkle in design, guys. I'm with you. And I do think Kenneth Gainwell is a good back for that type of thing. So is Sanders, to be fair.
We scored off the pistol, the Devontae catch in the end zone at the end where they had we've been killing it with AJ Brown in the flats, but this time we used Dallas Goedert. We were in a pistol formation. Goddard was behind the formation. He went there, a little fake pick play, and Devontae was wide open, but it was from the pistol. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of it too, just because it leads to a lot of misdirection. Like it's difficult to cue in on it. With that said, score prediction. I'm not taking Kenneth Gainwell, just so you guys know that. I'm gonna say Miles Sanders. I know I could probably go through the passing game, but I'm gonna say Miles is probably going to be one of those guys that might have a little motivation here. You know, I know he heard about them CMC rumors. I know he heard about the Kamara rumors. I know he's heard all these rumors. I'm gonna back my guy Miles and say Miles is gonna have a big game here today.
Plus, it's his hometown, right?
Exactly. He's playing the Steelers. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say Miles Sanders for my offensive player of the game. Defense, man, this is a tough one because Reese took Bradbury, you took Quinn. I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm not picking Kaiser White, but I think it'll be interesting to see how they use Kaiser White now. Do you really let this man play freely? Because he's a guy that could get really interesting, to be honest. I'm going to say Marcus Epps, man. I need that Marcus Epps game. I need that interception. He's the lone holdout, basically. Give me that pick, Marcus Epps. Give me that pick.
Hey, you're right. He's the only one in the secondary who don't got one.
It's crazy that you said that because I was talking about I think I was live. I can't remember. I was a little saucy that day. But anyway, I was talking about the secondary and how dominant it can be for, years to come if you sign CJ Gardner, you sign Bradbury, and to me, you can use one of those first round picks. Let's see how good one of these safeties is coming out of college. If you I like Marcus Epps, but to me, he's the only guy that is not a playmaker. He's not a play. Everybody else is making plays. Everybody else is a playmaker. And to me, Marcus Epps is not. So, I just thought he was going to be the guy out in this in this upcoming secondary because you have everything else except for that ball hawk type of free safety.
Yeah, I mean he's been a little bit of the enforcer, I think, from the secondary perspective, and I don't think he's been the big play guy. And I think, Reese, it's hard to judge, right? Because I do think that there are times where you can kind of see it's there, but it hasn't been consistently there. And that's a bit of, been a bit of the issue. I still think that they could use a third safety if we're talking trades and stuff like that. I definitely think bring back a Rodney McLeod on a veteran deal. If that was a possibility, I ain't hating that, to be quite honest.
I wouldn't.
Then we get back the old school, Battle Birds podcast where I was calling him Roddy McLeod.
Yeah, right. I don't even know. I haven't even seen that guy. I forgot his name, but he's been MIA from YouTube a while.
Yeah,
I forgot who it. But that was some good old times. Good old times. With that being said,
why can I say free Philly 500?
Huh? Oh. For 500 texted me yesterday too, because that's partly why I did not do the MLB stream last night. Well, listen, my wife was getting home late now.
Yeah, I know they cut him off. But he got back on.
They gave him a copyright strike, and he does it the same way he does the Eagles. He had no MLB film in there. He's calling the game like he did exactly how his Eagle stuff was. So Philly 500 heard that I was gonna do it. He texted me like, "Bro, if I was you, I wouldn't do it." I'm like, "Why?" And he told me all this.
I guess because it's the World Series, so they extra.
He needs a challenge to tell him to hit me up, Mike, and I'll tell him how to challenge it.
Well, no, he's challenged it. They got back to him. They said they realized he ain't doing. They realized the problem, but they can't fix it yet. I'll tell him to hit you up if you know a little bit more. But I was like, wow. I couldn't do it because my wife wasn't home and I'm with my 7-year only, but my stepson was gonna be coming home soon too, so I could have did it. But 500s definitely put me on it because he said he literally did it the same way he does his Eagle stuff, and they striked him. They say that he can't go live for 7 days now.
I got to call him. So that strike mean what? Like
nothing really.
How many strikes you only supposed to get? What, 3?
It depends on the nature of the copyright strike, but most of the time it just means you can't monetize the video.
Well, no, he got hit in the sense where he can't be live for 7 days. He's like YouTube jail. That's why he made that little picture.
So they reviewed it. They reviewed it, admitted that it shouldn't have been a copyright strike, but said that basically the internal system has already blocked the live
7 days. Yeah,
for 7 days, so they can't reverse that.
That's kind of what I think he was trying to say. Yeah, so it's still horrible. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so he ain't gonna be able to do 2 games.
Oh yeah,
that's messed up, man.
Unless he can unless they can resolve it. He said he's gonna keep bothering him, and he's gonna.
Yeah,
I would bother him every day until my 7 days are up or until I'm allowed to. That's crazy.
Yeah. You know what's really messed up is if you don't have a certain reach, it's almost impossible to get that resolved.
Yeah, I mean YouTube is they're not answering. They're not worried about YouTube is. They never barely answer back. I've had little things I needed to get resolved, and they took forever to even answer me back, like a month.
I had someone go through and manually copyright strike me for a ton of the film stuff that I did. And I'm like, yo, like, come on, man. This is This is clearly within the realm of reasonable. Like, it's commentary and it's clearly educational. I'm only using a specific play and breaking it down. Like, come on, bro, you're doing too much. Now, I always get them reversed. I've never had an issue getting them reversed, but it does mess up your money for a while. Like, there's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ties your money up for a while. Like, it's kind of messed up, but it's like, I mean, you don't make that much off of ad revenue anyways, but.
Yeah. I mean, this YouTube going kind of tricky. Seriously.
Yeah. With that being said, the game will be on in a little bit. I gotta get my stuff ready.
Me too. Actually, I drive home.
Oh, snap. Get on the road again. We all got. Oh, you didn't do the score prediction though, Gate? Did you? You did your players.
But he's not called me out for the score prediction.
he always trying to look.
Too, bro. I thought I made it through. All right, man. I'm gonna say 38-13 Philly.
God damn.
Yeah, I'm calling 38-13 Philly. We have not put our foot on the neck of an opponent yet. So since I got to give a score prediction, I'm going firmly foot on the neck score prediction. 38-13 Philly.
It all got higher. I said 31. You said 33. He said 38.
Yeah, I had to. Like, I'm like, man, they already put us into the 30s. Like, I got to really go up and above now.
Last question before we damn, what Eagles fans doing in Orlando, Tom? Sure, a bunch of Eagles fans, man. But last question: do y'all think because of the bye week that we start slow, like this is the first game that we start slow?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. I don't think it's a crazy way of saying that you've been laid off for over a week now. It's been a while since you've been on the field. I mean,
look at it so quick.
We've already struggled with opening possessions. Like we haven't been great with our opening possession, to be quite honest.
They got this. They got it on the screen right now. First quarter, 14 points this season. Second quarter, 112 points this season. Third quarter, 17 points this season. Fourth quarter, 18 points this season.
Yeah. It's.
Wait, we only got 14.
The crazy thing is, Mike, is that on our second and third possessions of the first quarter, we are putting points on the board, but it leaks into the second quarter. That's the real problem. With opening. We can't get those.
Like it's been plenty times that we've been in the red zone open in the second quarter.
Exactly.
Yeah. With that being said, listen, hit the like button. We got 347 people watching. Again, we are live on 3 channels: the Philly Talk One Eye Podcast, Philly Fresh, got Gate City Sports, Gate City Sports.
You good, bro? You could just say Gate City.
I was like, why does this sound weird? I'm saying it, but it's like not registered.
AKA Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. Hit the like for wherever you're watching it. Subscribe. We do Eagles content all through the week. We'll have, our good and bad stuff about this game. I will be live in a little bit for the game. We'll catch you after with a dub. 7-0. Here we come.
Bro, we go 7-0.
I got about Y'all got about 21 minutes, man. Free giveaway, man. My last video. Go check it out. I will be cutting the comments off at 1 o'clock, so don't try to cheat.
All right. With that being said, we'll catch y'all in a little bit. Peace.
Later, y'all.